Guys, we got whooped. We got whooped bad. Oh man, we got whooped bad. The game is still going on. What's the point? There's no point in there. I don't know what to, there's nothing. I have no analysis here, guys. We got beat bad. This is torture. Oh, this was the worst game of the season. There's a few takeaways I have, okay, but it's not much positive, not much positivity. So as you can see, the game is still going on. It doesn't matter though, unless the Spurs can make something happen with 42 seconds left on the clock, down by 72. I don't I don't know. Oh my God. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of people talk about Sohan. We'll talk about Sohan in a minute. Good God, everybody was absolute trash. Okay, everybody. Okay, everybody. Every single player tonight. They said, you know what, guys, I want to play like trash tonight. And then Julian said, oh, that's very ironic, Zach, because I actually wanted to play like trash. And then Sohan was like, yo, you guys playing like trash? Hold on, I want to get in the mix. Let me play like trash. And then everybody was just like, let's all just play like garbage tonight. Let's all be the most garbage. Yes, embarrass Clan tonight. Clan has been praising us, saying these losses have been good. Let's just embarrass him. It felt like a personal attack. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, first and foremost, all right? I'll start with the elephant in the room, which I don't even think is that big a deal. Everyone talking about Sohan. Sohan was so bad. Honestly, as bad as Sohan was, I think it was more of a team being bad thing. Like, Sohan was at least closing out, and when he was guarding SGA, he did a good job. I know you're going to take SGA's numbers, say 10, 16, or 10 shots, took 16 shots, made 10. Phenomenal game by him, by the way. But I will say this, when Sohan was on him, he made it a tough assignment for SGA. But I have to say this, man, one glaring issue with the Spurs right now, no one closes out. No one rotates and no one closes out. They are so late with closeouts defensively. Like, offensively, I expect us to struggle a little bit, with Wemby trying to figure out his game, guys trying to figure out how to get him the ball, how to be more effective. Devin Vassell having to take on a bigger role. I expect that. And in this type of game where SGA and his Thunder, OKC Thunder team is like really good defensively, we can't lack defense. It was terrible. Our defense was terrible. And it's not even a matter of, oh, we're just not athletic enough to get to get to those spots and contest and all that. I don't think it was a talent issue. I felt like it was kind of an effort issue. Like, a lot of times guys' brains were just somewhere else. Doug McDermott really is letting me down. Like, he hasn't had a bad season by any means. I mean, he's Doug McDermott. You know what you're going to get out of him. But, man, I'm not expecting him to be disengaged defensively. He was completely disengaged. Near the end of this game, Devontae Graham, he just kind of summed up how our defense is. He started ball watching for a wide open corner shot, and you can see Popovich on the sidelines just, oh my God, I can't believe you just gave that up. Like, it's so bad. Oh my God, our defense is terrible. Oh my God, team defense, that is. Individually, I think Sohan did a fine job on SGA. Okay, he did. He did a fine job on SGA. And anyone that he was on, it was pretty tough. Wemby, they tried their best. OKC tried their best to stay away from Wemby. But good God almighty, they attacked everyone. And don't think that if Keldon was here, it would have been any better. They would have attacked Keldon. I mean, our defense is terrible, bro. Our team defense is terrible. But we can't really expect this team to be like A1 defenders, especially since, just because we added Wemby. Like, obviously, that's not going to be the case. Man, oh man. Get a point guard. Sohan is so bad. Okay, so yes. Okay, so those are things that Spurs need. They do need a point guard, obviously, okay? And they do need a defensive small forward. But with that being said, I don't necessarily think this is like time to rag on Sohan. The Sohan experiment is awful. We have no one else. And I think that this is more of a long-term project. I'm gonna stick with that I think Sohan running point guard right now, while it's frustrating, while it's ugly, I do think in the long haul, it's going to help the team quite a bit, or help him. and just add a little bit more versatility to our offense in the future. Okay, right now it looks terrible. I know it's god awful. We're only like 10 games into the season. It's whatever. But I think in the long haul, when we do have a point guard, we get our defensive small forward, I think that Sochan's going to be completely fine, and we'll be able to switch mismatch, and people will be able to, like, I think a lot of fans are going to sit back and be like, oh, Sochan's a pretty good facilitator when he's not the main facilitator. So just be patient. We'll be all right. We need a veteran point guard. We needed someone to keep this thing together. I mean, I think right now the time is coming near. I know Popovich has said, like, he's sitting back, allowing the guys to kind of figure out the offense. It's getting really bad. And it's getting bad to the point where, at least in this game, it got dangerous. I mean, to the point where guys going to hurt themselves. I mean, amount of times that they turned the ball over, the amount of times they had to run back in transition to stop fast break plays. Somebody's going to get hurt like this. They're going to have to, we're going to have to start running some plays. I think Pop needs to start coaching. Pop coaching is more than just calling plays. Like, Pop is a phenomenal coach, and I think that I wouldn't want anybody else coaching this team other than Pop. But yeah, he has to start running some plays, and it's getting really bad at this point. And it's getting so bad. It's okay for us to, like, lose, get our butt whooped or whatever, and you can take something positive out of it. This is one of those games where I don't take much positive out of this. There's not much positivity I can say from this game. And also, this is one of those games where it's not a lot of development that's going on. Now, let me say this, though, okay? With all that being said, as bad as this game was, let me say this. And this isn't an excuse, okay? It's just a reality check. I think this is a good thing, okay? So what I'm about to say, I think this is actually a good thing. The referees officiated this game like if it was a playoff game. I saw quite a few people on Twitter saying, like, oh my God, the refereeing was terrible. They're missing calls. Yeah, there were plenty of times where we did get fouled, but in a playoff sense, that's a no call. And that happened quite often on both ends, by the way. So I think that they officiated it like it was a playoff game because of the tourney. And OKC smacked this in the face, and the Spurs were not ready to respond to that. They're already, struggling offensively to figure things out. Devin Vassell finally being back in the lineup the last couple games. So they're still trying to figure that out. But yeah, they were not ready to punch back at all. That made it rough. Got that A whooped on national television. Yeah, that was bad. That's what makes it insulting. Like, people tuning in, like, let me finally check out this Wemby guy. And they're like, oh, he's trash, which isn't the case. This was by far his worst game, and he still had 14 rebounds. But people will say, oh, he's supposed to have that. But 14 rebounds, 2 blocks, that's pretty decent. 4 turnovers is bad. 5 turnovers from Zach Collins. I don't know why in the life of me it's so difficult to throw the ball up to Wemby. Like, don't get me wrong, Devontae Graham did not look great tonight by any stretch of the imagination. But I will say this. His passes at least made sense. They were quick. They were decisive. It was up high. I don't know. I don't know why this is so difficult for everyone else. And I know Sochan, he's not accustomed to being point guard. He's still trying to learn a little bit there. But I don't know what's going on with the team, man. I don't know what's going on with the team where no one can figure that out. I swear to God, it's as soon as Devontae Graham got in the game, it was quick, decisive passes to Wemby. I don't know why the team is so hesitant to throw that ball up like that. God, yeah, even TNT changed the channel. I was happy that they saved us of that embarrassment. I was happy that they saved us from that embarrassment. God awful, terrible. God awful. Not great whatsoever. This team sucks. Well, Cody, we suck. I got nothing. I was gonna say something, but I got nothing. Yeah, you're right, Cody. We kind of suck. It's okay though. It's okay. Like, I'm not expecting. It's still early in the season, but I'm not expecting this team to go to the playoffs. I've said that already. I've been very adamant on that. Play in possibly, maybe. But I expect us to be a bad team again. You know, they're still so young. I do expect us to be a pretty bad team. And OKC, as young as they are, because they're young, I think they're right next to us, right, in age. They have played with each other more than we have. They have more cohesion. And on top of it, they have an actual superstar. So keep that in mind as well. Like Wemby, he's going to be a superstar. He's not a superstar right now, right? I still hold firm that Wemby is the best player on this team. And then it's Devin Vassell. That's just my opinion. I think the way that he impacts the game on both ends of the court is just mind-boggling at times. So I do think that he's the best player on the team, but he is not a superstar. Not yet. But OKC, they got them a superstar. All right. So that's always going to be a disadvantage for us. Even against Dallas Mavericks, we should have won that game, but they had a superstar, right? So I don't know. I wasn't really expecting us to go all in and win this game. But it's disheartening. It is disheartening. Trade for Zach LaVine. Now, calm down. This isn't time to trade everybody. Calm down. I'm open to the idea of grabbing like some type of veteran point guard just to kind of hold this thing together a little bit. But at the same time, Sochan running point guard, I understand it. And I think that as time goes on, it's going to really help us in the future. Far, far in the future, but in the future. So, and he's not really going to have this type of opportunity again. So yeah, bye-bye Sochan. Good God, y'all. What is up with you and like angry at Sochan? Is it because he's the loudest, so he looks the worst or something? I mean, look at this team. Look at this game. How can you just look at even the stat? I know stats don't tell the full picture, but just look at the stats. How can you blame him? 4 for 14 from June. This is all Sochan. Sochan went 4 for 14 as the small forward. He went 4 for 11. Wemby went 4 for 15. And I guess it's Sochan's fault that Devin Vassell went 5 for 12, right? Is that his fault too? And it's his fault that Malachi Branham went 5 for 13. And it's his fault that the team as a whole was 30% three-point percentage and 67% free throw percentage. I guess that's his fault. I mean, come on. It's his fault that our overall field goal percentage was 39%, if that, 38.7. That's all Sochan's fault. Like, come on, dude. This whole game, like, this was not a Sochan-driven loss, okay? Gosh, I don't know why people get so angry at Sochan all the time. Also, I told you guys I have a 4-year rule, okay? If you haven't hit that 4-year mark, I'm not as critical of you. That's why I don't talk bad about Blake Wesley at all. Like, he's still learning. Give him some time. Same thing with Sochan. This is only his 2nd year. I'm not going to chirp about it. He has room to struggle. That's fine. I feel like once you hit that 4th year, though, all bets are off. All right, we gotta start evaluating. That's why I look at Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson with a little bit more of a critical eye. Even though Devin Vassell's been great, like, I have no complaints really. But Keldon, I've been pretty adamant on him not being as great. I'm gonna watch Harden right now. Have a good time. All right, I gotta talk to you guys about something, okay? We gotta talk about something. Let me tell you something. Hold on, you gotta give me a millisecond though. All right, listen. I have a new sponsor, okay? Partnership alert. Mojo, big shout out to Mojo. So I just want to talk to you guys about it a little bit. It's actually a crazy new app that turns sportsbook odds and selection into fantasy contests. So if you're wondering how it works, this is how it works. So as you know, there's plenty of like different player props when it comes to the NFL, MLB, NBA, all that good stuff. But with this app in particular, you build a portfolio, and the better your portfolio performs, the more cash you can win. So you pick as many props as you want and try to beat the crowd. It's a whole new way to play fantasy. It's completely different than anything you probably seen before. The props are like stocks, so you can buy and sell live all game long. It's the only fantasy app that lets you make moves after the game starts. So you're not stuck with a bad pick. So that just means you can trade players like in the middle of the game, basically. So yeah, it's pretty great. So if you guys are interested in that, please download, link in the description. Use the code SpursClan for 100% deposit match up to $100 for your first time deposit. Also, want to bring this up as well. I am going to give away $200 worth of Spurs tickets. It's going to be $200 value, and all you have to do is download this app, sign up, send me a DM saying that you signed up, just proof that you signed up, and boom, you're entered in the giveaway. And we're going to do this for at least a couple weeks, and then we'll probably do another one for the last couple weeks. But yeah, so guys, check this out. And if you are interested in Spurs tickets anywhere, by the way, it's not specific games, anywhere, please just go to the link in my description, download this Mojo Fantasy app, and yeah, you have a chance to win Spurs tickets. So yeah, there's that. Good stuff, great stuff, wonderful stuff. Actually, I'm happy with that. Let me see. I also need to, guys. I know you guys are ranting. I know you're really upset. I'm upset too. Well, I'm not as upset as you guys, but it is what it is. Hold on, I actually need to do something. I'll do it after. We are all angry. I understand. I know we're all angry. We're all pissed off. But you know what? At the end of the day, like I said, keep this in mind, all right? If we want to take anything positive from this game, I don't know why my screen went to this. If we want to take anything positive from this game, it's the fact that the game was officiated like a playoff game. This is the perfect year. I wasn't crazy about this tournament stuff, like in-season tournament stuff. I was not crazy about it. I wasn't. I was not at all. I wasn't. I promise I wasn't. I was not crazy about it. But I will say this. I think it's good for this team in particular. We're a young team. We're trying to learn. Wemby's trying to get accustomed to things. And this was a playoff atmosphere. It felt like it. I mean, it was a... I mean, as far as the crowd, I mean, it was absolutely full. You're on national television. OKC is bringing it to you, punch you in the mouth. This is a type of game that you need right now. And I think that the Spurs, because I don't believe they'll make the playoffs, it's good that they're getting this type of experience early on. So this in-season tournament couldn't have came at a better time, and it came as soon as we got Wemby. So that's good. At least that's good. You're so positive, man. That's my honest thoughts. I mean, this game was very frustrating. Like, don't get me wrong. There's not a lot of positive things I can take out of it, but I will say, I'm happy that we played this game. I mean, it gave them some type of idea of what the playoffs could look like. This is like mini playoffs, right? The officiating was really tough, dude. They were not. They weren't calling a bunch of stuff. And that's a good thing, right? Like in a normal regular season game, for instance, Julian had a really nice block. God, he had 3 blocks? He had 3 blocks this game? Okay. Dang, that alone would get you some minutes. And he had 4. Hold on, Julian had 4 steals and 3 blocks? God, was I so blinded by how bad we were playing that I didn't even notice? That's insane. Yeah, but he had 1 block in particular on Jalen Williams. Not the Jalen Williams that everyone like talks about, the other Jalen Williams. Wait, I don't think that Jalen Williams starts, does he? No, he doesn't start. Yeah, this Jalen Williams. He had a block on this Jalen Williams, and I feel like in a normal regular season game, they would have called a foul. So I can't really get mad. It was a clear block. And I know some people on Spurs Twitter got a little upset with the foul on Wemby, but let's be honest, Wemby did lose the ball, and in a playoff series, they're not going to call that. So I thought it was good. I think it was good that we got punched in the mouth. And just like the Miami Heat game where they punched us and we didn't punch back, this is what happens. You got to punch back. And we just kind of let them roll over us. But I don't know. Everyone want to focus in on Sohan, but honestly, that's just so weird to me. from the fact that Sohan is one of the youngest players on this team. And I will say with all confidence that him and Wemby defensively was engaged. Apparently Julian was too. But they were engaged defensively. And I don't know. I feel like those two, while it was ugly, they don't necessarily deserve to be like stomped on. You know? I don't know. If we had Keldon, we still wouldn't have won this game. I'd see some people in the chat there. So terrible game, terrible, but it's something you can take out of it. Playoff game, that's what happens. Is Pop still not running plays? He's still not running plays. I think Pop was waiting for like the 20 game mark before he starts running plays, but he probably needs to fast forward that because this is looking bad. Oh my God, we're 3-8. How many games have we lost in a row? I don't know. Bad stuff. Not great. End the segment.